Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jeanelle Slade.
And I'm Jay Cohn. A suspicious package outside the Q2 studios tonight ends with two small controlled explosions.
Billings Police, the FBI, and the police bomb squad shut down the block surrounding KTVQ communications while the bomb robot got up close to the plastic tub.
Yes, several anxious hours here on North 32nd Street tonight. The entire incident ending just about 30 minutes ago after the police bomb squad detonated a suspicious plastic tub left on the doorstep of the station.
Authorities telling Q2 this likely was a scare tactic meant to disrupt news operations. Q2's Zoe Zandora has been following the developments in and out of the building tonight and is standing by now with the very latest. Zoe.
Thanks, Jay and Jeanelle. I just got in the studio after the all clear was given just around 30 minutes ago, like you said. Police are still clearing up debris from the east entrance of the building for making sure the possible threat had been eliminated. I was told after getting the call that the police determined there was a level of concern about the package. That is when they blocked off 32nd Street North between 3rd Avenue North and 4th Avenue North and called in the bomb squad. I spoke with Sergeant Jason Gardner of the bomb squad just before the news started airing, and he said that once they arrived on scene, they knew they needed to take action to ensure safety.
We had deployed one of our bomb squad robots, and it was able to go up and evaluate and look at the device. There were components on the outside of the device that looked like they could be components that we would typically see consistent with an IED. So with that information, and we had a nice shot that we were able to take with our disruptors on our robot, we fired a water shot at the device and disassembled it on site. You know, it's hard to tell exactly what the intentions was of whoever made it, but again, I think it was made with the intention to raise alarm and to cause, people to feel uncomfortable. And given the, recent events have happened nationwide, it's hard to tell if that's what motivated an individual to do something like that or not.
Definitely causing a lot of anxiousness, and officers are still just outside of our studios going through debris, and North 32nd has been reopened. At this time, the investigation is still ongoing and the person who left the package is still at large. Jay and Jeanelle.
All right. Thanks so much, Zoe.
Breathing a sigh of relief at this hour.
Yes, we are.
President Donald Trump set to return to Montana for a 4th visit since July on Saturday. Now, this visit just a little more than 2 weeks since the president rallied his supporters in Missoula.
Now, the president will hold his rally at the Bozeman Yellowstone International Airport Saturday. Doors will open at 9:30 in the morning. The event set to start at 12:30 Saturday afternoon.
Tickets for the rally are available on the Donald Trump website. You'll find a link to that on this story at KTVQ.com.
Tonight, the grieving goes on in Pittsburgh in the wake of Saturday's synagogue shooting that left 11 people dead.
Today, the suspected gunman made his appearance in court. He could face the death penalty if convicted. CBS's Nicole Killian reports now from Pittsburgh.
Synagogue shooting suspect Robert Bowers was in court Monday. It was his first public appearance since Saturday when he allegedly killed 11 members of Pittsburgh's Tree of Life congregation. Investigators say Bowers was motivated by extreme anti-Semitism. The 46-year-old truck driver reportedly told police that all he wanted to do was, quote, kill Jews. Prosecutors intend to seek the death penalty.
It's not just like the temperature that feels cold, just whole world feels cold right now.
Outside the synagogue, a makeshift memorial continues to grow. Since the shooting, people have gone there to mourn the victims. Their funerals are scheduled to begin Tuesday.
One anti-Semitic act is one too many. One act of hate against any other human being is one act too many. I'm not just concerned about the rise of anti-Semitism, I'm concerned about the rise of hate in our country.
Tree of Life Rabbi Jeffrey Myers is urging elected officials to tone down their rhetoric. He believes political partisanship has fueled a rise in this kind of violence.
The president and first lady travel here Tuesday to mourn and express their support for the city.
White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders condemned the synagogue attack. She also rejected the idea that the president's words played any role in it.
You can't start putting the responsibility of individuals on anybody but the individual who carries out the crime.
The suspect, Bowers, was denied bail and is due to go before a judge again on Thursday. Nicole Killian, CBS News, Pittsburgh.
In addition to those who died, 6 people were wounded but were able to survive Saturday's rampage.
4 of them remain hospitalized tonight, including 2 police officers. Well, Governor Steve Bullock has ordered all flags in Montana to fly at half-staff to honor the 11 lives lost.
And here in Billings, members of Congregation Beth are speaking out against this violence. Members of the congregation say the attack is a sobering reminder of the hatred and bigotry still alive here in the U.S. and around the world. But they say what's really stuck with them in the wake of the tragedy is the community coming together to show support.
You wouldn't think that in today's society we would be hearing of such things, especially in the United States. But one of the sort of shining lights that came out of it was the outpouring immediately from the community. We had numerous Christian congregations and community members calling our congregation here or reaching out to us on Facebook, just saying, you know, we stand with you in solidarity. We are so glad that you are here in the community, and we wish you nothing but love.
And Salzberg tells us she's also thankful for the Billings Police Department, who, without any prompting, began to run extra patrols in the area.
Talon Energy, the company that operates the Colstrip power plants in southeastern Montana, has filed suit now in state district court in an effort to recover $733 million from former Colstrip owner PPL. Talon is a part owner in the Colstrip plants. It alleges that in 2014, PPL wrongfully transferred $733 million in proceeds from the sale of its hydroelectric dams to Northwestern Energy. Talon's lawsuit contends those funds should have stayed with PPL's Montana holdings. And without the funds, Talon says it's now unable to fulfill its pension and benefit obligations to the workers at the Colstrip plants, nor can it meet its environmental cleanup obligations. Talon, which was created by PPL in 2015 to oversee its energy holdings, owns half of Colstrip Units 1 and 2 and also has a 15% interest in Units 3 and 4. Talon President Dale Lebsack says over the past 2 years, the company has worked tirelessly to improve the difficult financial condition of the Colstrip power plant that it inherited from PPL. He goes on to say, quote, "We're asking PPL to fulfill its obligations to the Colstrip plants, the state of Montana, and to the plant's employees and retirees." As of tonight, 320 workers are employed at those Colstrip power plants.
A Billings family doing its best to move forward after losing a husband, father, and a local business owner in a head-on crash that also claimed the life of a 16-year-old Fromberg teenager.
Coto Coleman's family talked to Q2 News today about their loss and how they plan to keep going. Q2's Russ Riesinger joins us now with more. Russ, how are they holding up?
Well, they seem to be doing okay, all things considered. They shared some pictures and memories with us today that brought back some smiles. Melinda Coto says her husband loved his work and had been on his way to a job in the Pryor Mountains when he was killed.
Well, we were high school sweethearts. I met him when I was 14 and he was 16.
Melinda Coto knew her husband for 40 years and was married to him for 34. Mike Coto's life ended tragically on this Carbon County highway last week, but his family's memories of him will live on.
He was creative. He always created letters at Valentine's Day for the kids, and he always can draw, he can sing, he can play guitar, he paints. He does wonderful woodworking projects, and everybody has a project, something. Oh, if not 10 items that he has made over the years in each of our houses. And his humor.
Mike's dream of owning his own construction company became Melinda's dream too. Together with their children, they ran Asphalt Plus Inc.
It's in my blood, and I'm so glad it's in my blood because API is our business, and it's a family business, and Mike loved the thought that it was family.
Melinda says the business will go on, and even though he may no longer be with her physically, she still feels her husband's presence.
It's hard to sleep. I woke up at 3:30 this morning, but he's already talked to me because he brought 2 things to my mind that is like, oh, I didn't think of that. And it's him. I wish I had him. God, 10 more years, you know. But nothing went unsaid between him and his kids and him and I have been blessed by him.
Well, Mike Coto's funeral will be Saturday. His family has asked those attending to wear something celebratory, saying that's the way that Mike would have wanted it. Now, the teenager killed in that accident, Paul McKay, will be laid to rest tomorrow. Jay, Jeanelle.
Thanks so much, Russ.
On to the weather scene tonight. Bob McGuire is joining us. And Bob, the question is, will this Halloween be full of more tricks or treats?
Well, we had a system move through today. That was good because we kind of got it out of the way. There's another one on the way. So here's what we have for your Halloween forecast. And as you can tell, it's going to be kind of spooky looking out there, huh? Yeah. Well, anyway, we do have partly cloudy skies, about a 20% chance of rain moving in about 6 o'clock. That goes to about a 40% chance of rain later on in the night. So, but no snow. The snow will probably come in after midnight, probably closer to November 1st. But 47 degrees will be our temperature then. So really not too bad of a night for the trick-or-treaters. I'd still dress them up kind of warm, at least put a sweater underneath the costume, because at 47 degrees, it's still going to be a little on the cool side at about 6 o'clock. We'll have the rest of your week's forecast coming up in a few more minutes. Jay, Jeanelle?
All right, thanks, Bob.
The Montana Television Network, along with multiple other stations across the country owned by Cordillera Communications, will soon have a new owner.
The EW Scripps Company will purchase the television side of Cordillera for more than $500 million. Now, in this deal, Scripps will acquire 15 television stations, including the MTN stations here in Montana, as well as television stations in Kentucky, Louisiana, Colorado, California, and Texas.
The Scripps Company will now own 51 television stations with a reach of nearly 21% of households across the U.S. The deal is expected to close in the first quarter of 2019.
Still ahead on tonight's 10 o'clock news, it didn't quite make it to 25, but NAFTA changed American trade policy for the last quarter century. Coming up, we'll take a look back to its inception in 1993.
And in sports, Scott delivers a late season edition of Q2's Game Changers as we head into the week's quarterfinals.
You're watching MTN News with Jay Cohn and Jeanelle Slade. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Green. This is the 10 o'clock news on Q2, Montana's news leader.